Hey everyone, I'm Catherine, and this is this little video demonstrating various tricks used in the speedrun for Skipper and Skeeto 3. And this was requested that I do a video like this, so I'm doing it now. We'll start off with some very basic stuff and move on to some more complex things. So the most basic thing we do in the speedrun is dialogue skipping, which is very simple. It's not really even a trick. It's just an intended game mechanic. You can skip any dialogue in the game by pressing spacebar. I'll demonstrate this here at the start. So I'll start this, and you're gonna start hearing some dialogue. And you can hear my spacebar when I press it.
Katso, siitä hyvästä hän kyllä saa maksaa. Aha, Manu! Minä olen...
Mia.
Milloin sinä olet tänne
Vähän ennen sinua.
Päivytään. Hei Manu! Matti! Olipa hyvä, että tulit.
And there you can hear me skipping through all the dialogue very fast. And that's something you hear me do in the speedrun at the very start is I'm furiously skipping through the intro dialogue. I'm also clicking on that spot there. In fact, let me show you how I would do a start your run. So I would start here. I would click on this disc, and I would immediately, as soon as I click on the disc, that's when timing starts, I would start mashing space bar and mouse 1, and I will orient my mouse to be on top of the key so that when I gain control, I can immediately pick up the key. There, like that. Next I will show you, well, one of the most basic things we do in the speedrun is mouse placement. Let me see if I can find a good demonstration of that. Yes. This is a good one. So say we're here on floor 3 and we've just entered this room here. We're gonna wanna go read the sign, and we're gonna wanna walk through this door, and immediately after the door we'll see there's a tree with this I think it's a leopard in it. I don't actually know. And to read the sign there, we have to use this whip, this bullwhip on the tree. Now, pulling the bullwhip from my inventory and dragging it here and dropping it takes time. But to make this optimal, we can actually just, once we read this, we click here, and while we're walking towards there, we use it on there. I just messed it up, hang on. So we read this, we're walking there. Sometimes this game has issues.
Look. Yo.
And there's how you would do that. So this happens a lot in the run where you'll see me, I'll click on something, and meanwhile, while I'm clicking, after I've clicked it, I immediately go to my inventory to place it on the screen. And this is an example of that. Next, I could show you some animation skips. So some animations are possible. There's 2 animations we currently know of which we can skip. They're both found here on this level. So if we are to use this coin here, we get the cat sleep potion. Walk right through here. So the intended thing to do here is to use the cat sleep potion on our character, then which will, I believe, cause our character to jump over here, or maybe it's clicking there that causes it. Anyways, we're going to... This should be an animation of our character jumping over to the sign and then back to the sign. But we can actually skip a half of that animation. We can use the bottle on our character, and if we spam click mouse and
Hei,
oh, oops.
upea!
Now we've used it. If we spam click mouse and space bar, we can avoid the the second half of the animation. Well, I fucked it up just then. Let's try it again. There we go. You saw it. So if we skip, the important part is you skip, you click on it, and then you press space. So that's how you do it.
Tuuli yltyi.
So here we can skip this climbing animation. We use the
Se oli...
llama spit on us, and then we do what we did with the other one.
Helmikuu
And we teleport here, and it skips the first half of the animation. Now,
oli pitkään ylimpänä listalla.
there's a reason I'm not pressing spacebar just then. Also, don't ignore the green spider. I'll explain that. There's a reason I'm not pressing spacebar after that, because if we are to do that, we get this.
Helmikuu
Hang on, let me show you.
1987.
So we're climbing back.
Tämä kondori oli pitkään ylimpänä listalla.
Now let me press spacebar. Another clone of the animation comes, and we can barely interact with the game while this is happening. This is a bug we've come to call demon, because it looks like The Exorcist, some shit like that, and it loses you a lot of time, so you generally don't want to have it in your runs, and you can just avoid it by not pressing spacebar in the screen after that. It's very easy, but I tend to mash the spacebar a lot of times in my runs, so I sometimes accidentally activate it. Next, let's move on to elevator teleporting, or shortly just teleporting. I have a save file here that's good for demonstrating it. Let me actually restart the game so this spider leaves the screen. I'm gonna explain the spider in a moment once we get the fast fighting. So here, normally we enter an elevator.
Tervetuloa.
Once we've entered the elevator, we can choose a target floor that we have access to, and it will begin the elevator cutscene.
He astuvat tyhjään.
And we will exit out of the elevator. Now, interestingly, we can skip this elevator animation either with spacebar or just by clicking. What I usually do, in fact, let me actually show you. So if I'm walking towards the elevator from somewhere, I'm already gonna be mashing mouse 1 on the floor I want to go to, and that instantly transports me through the elevator. I don't need to sit through the elevator cutscene. I get instant transport. Goes to any floor. Now, where this gets interesting is you can actually press the elevator buttons after you've exited out of the elevator. Right after you exit out of the elevator, you are still able to press the buttons. And if during that time you activate the elevator and then skip it, you will the game kind of panics, I guess, and teleports you to the center of the room, because it doesn't, I guess, know where it wants to put you. So to demonstrate that, let me walk away so it doesn't take long. Or it takes a while. And the way I do this, because it is kind of precise, I just smash both spacebar and mouse one. And that, if you do that, the important thing here is you have to keep doing that even after you've exited the elevator.
Hissi.
There you see it. This works on any floor. However, it's only useful on some floors. Any floor where there's a spider in the first room, it's not useful in, because you're gonna have to fight the spider anyways, and this actually loses you time, because if you teleport in a room with a spider, the spider won't activate until you try to exit the room. This has to do with the game that spiders not registering that you've entered the room if you enter it in an unusual fashion, like not going through a door. So teleporting, or there's one point on floor 3 where the game itself teleports you. You'll see that the spiders don't really react to you until you try to exit the room. So on floors where there are spiders, teleporting doesn't help. Also on floor 5, I'll show you. On floor 5, it's not useful because we have to get these ice cubes here. So either you're gonna teleport to the center of the room, walk to this room here, walk all the way back to the ice cubes, and then walk to this door. Or we come out of the elevator, we get these, we walk back here, and we walk through this door. It's not very useful. It used to be even worse because we used to get this this soda here, but we don't do that anymore because damage is no longer of concern in the run. In fact, let's move on to our newest discovery, which was fast fighting tech. So we load here. We are faced with a single spider. Normally, we go into battle, we attack, we can skip through the dialogue, and then the enemy attacks back. And that's how a normal fight in this game would go. However, what we discovered we can do, if we load the save again, what we discovered we could do is that if we open the exit menu, so in combat, pressing this attack button, you can't. If I am to try to press, you can see my mouse cursor turns into this hourglass shape. I'm going to escape battle so I can show that. But that is actually not, that's the only thing preventing you from attacking again and starting a fighting cycle again. So if we somehow during combat, during that phase, free our mouse to be able to click anything, we could just attack again. And turns out this is exactly something we can do. Because if during combat we are to try to close the game window, either by pressing Alt F4 or trying to close the window just with the little X button in the corner, if you're using windowing software like I am, you can simply it will open a dialog box and the game has to free your mouse so you can click it, but it never locks your mouse again, meaning you can press this attack button as many times as you want. So let me show you here, and I'm going to click this, go to close the window. You could do this with Alt F4. And then immediately close the dialog by pressing escape. and then attack again. Okay, let's try it again.
Mitä nyt?
Hyvin osut!
And there you can see, I completely annihilated the spider without it getting a single hit, despite that taking 3 hits from me. This of course means that health is no longer an issue in the speedrun, and we can completely skip all healing items.
Mitä nyt?
Well, that was kind of a bad example, since we did 7 damage, but here you can see actually a couple issues with this technique. One of them is what I have come to call sticky spider, or in this case the blue spider god, because he will watch over all of our runs. If you do this, the spider's damage animation gets stuck, one frame of it gets stuck on the screen, and it will be there until you reload a save. Which of course we don't do in the, not reload a save, once you restart the game. Of course we don't do this in the speedrun, so the spider is just going to be there, and we're just gonna have to be used to him with the game. Another issue you might have noticed is that the spider now has 0 health, yet is still somehow alive. This happens if, while the spider is dying, you interrupt it. And in this case, the spider will be in this kind of zombie state where they are dead, but the fight still goes on. And you can quit out of this zombie state by simply attacking. It doesn't need to even hit. You can completely miss, and it will still kill the spider.
Hitto vie!
Perfectly, the game decided to show that exact thing happening there.